What are emotion and moods? An analysis will need three terms that are closely intertwined: affect, emotion, and moods. Affect is a generic term that covers a broad range of feelings people experience, including both emotion and moods. Emotion are intense feelings directed at someone or something. Moods are less intense feelings than emotion and often took not always arise without a specific event acting as a stimulus. The basic emotion. How many emotions are there? Three or dozen, including anger, contempt, enthusiasm, envy, fear, frustration, disappointment, embarrassment, disgust, happiness, hate, hope, jealousy, joy, love, pride, surprise, and sadness. Numerous researchers have tried to limit them to a fundamental set. The basic emotion consists with two effects. First is positive effect and second negative effect. Positive effect is a mood dimension consisting of positive emotions such as excite, excitement, self-assurance, and cheerfulness. At the height and boredom, sluggishness, and tiredness at the low end. Negative effect is a mood dimension consisting of nervousness, stress, and anxiety at the height and relaxation, tranquility, and poise at the low end. Positive offset: the tendency of most individuals to experience a medley positive mood at zero input when nothing in particular is going on. The function of emotion. Do emotions make us irrational? How often have you heard someone say, "Oh, you are just being emotional"? You might have been offended. The famous astronomer Carl Sagan once wrote, "Where we have strong emotion, we are liable to fool ourselves. This observation suggests rationally that emotions are in conflict and that if you exhibit emotion, you are likely to act rationally." One team of authors argue that displaying emotions such as sadness to the point of crying is so toxic to a career that we should leave the room rather than allow others to witness it. Do emotions make us ethical? A growing body of researchers has begun to examine the relationship between emotion and moral attitude. It was previously believed that, like decision making in general, most most ethical decision making was based on higher order cognitive process, but research on moral emotion increasingly question this perspective. The next part will be presented by Rana.
I want to explain about source of emotion and moods. Have you ever said, I got up on the wrong side of the bed today? Have you ever snapped at your friend or family member for no particular reason? If you have, it probably makes you wonder where emotion and moods come from. Here I will discuss some of the primary influence. The first is personality. Moods and emotion have a trait component. Most people have built-in a tendency to experience certain moods and emotions more frequently than others do. People also experience the same emotion with different intensities. The second is day of the week and time of the day. Are people in their best mood on the weekend? People tend to be in their worst moods, highest negative affect and lowest positive affect early in the week, and in their best mood, highest positive affect and lowest negative affect late in the week. What about time of the day? We often think we are either morning or evening people. However, most of us actually follow the same pattern, regardless of what time we go to the bed at night or get up in the morning. Level of positive affect tend to peak at around the halfway point between waking and sleeping. Negative affect, however, show little fluctuation throughout the day. The third is weather. When do you think you will be in a better mood? When it's so hot and sunny, or on a gloomy, cold, rainy day? Many people believe their mood is tied to the weather. However, a fairly large and detailed body of evidence conducted by multiple researchers suggests weather has little effect on moods. The fourth is stress. As you might imagine, stressful daily event at college, a nasty email, an impending deadline, the loss of big sale, negatively affect moods. The effect of stress also builds over time. As the author of one study note, a constant diet of even low-level stressful event has the potential to cause workers to experience gradually increasing level of strain over time. The fifth is social activities. Do you tend to be happiest when out with friends? For most people, social activities increase positive mood and have little effect on negative mood. But do people in positive mood seek out social interaction, or do social interaction cause people to be in good mood? It seems both are true. The sixth is sleep. US adults report sleeping less than adults generation ago. Does lack of sleep make people grumpier? Sleep quality does affect mood. Undergraduates and adult workers who are sleep deprived report greater feeling of fatigue, anger, and hostility. The seventh is exercise. You often hear people should exercise to improve their moods. Does sweet therapy really work? It appears so. Researchers constantly show exercise enhance people's positive mood. While not terribly strong overall, the effects are strongest for those who are depressed. The eighth is age. Do young people experience more extreme positive emotion than older people? If you answered yes, you are wrong. One study of people aged 18 to 94 revealed that negative emotion seems to occur less as people get older. The ninth is sex. Many believe women are more emotional than men. Is there any truth to this? Evidence does confirm women are more emotionally and expressive than men. They experience emotion more intensely. They tend to hold into emotion longer than men, and they display more frequent expression of both positive and negative emotion, except anger. Thank you for your
Emotional labor. Emotional labor is an employee's expression of organizationally desired emotion during interpersonal transaction at work. The concept of emotional labor emerged from studies of service jobs. Airlines expect their flight attendants to be cheerful. We expect funeral director to be sad and doctor emotionally neutral. But emotional labor is relevant to almost every job. At the least, your manager expects you be courteous, not hostile in your interaction with coworkers. The true challenge arises when employees have to project one emotion while feeling another. This disparity is emotion dissonance, and it can take a heavy toll. Emotional dissonance is inconsistencies between the emotion people feel and the emotion they project. Felt emotions are an individual actual emotion. In contrast, display emotions are those that the organization requires workers to show and considers appropriate in a given job. Displaying fake emotion requires us to suppress real ones. Surface acting is hiding inner feeling and foregoing emotional expression in response to display rules. A worker who smiles at a customer even when he doesn't feel like it is surface acting. Deep acting is trying to modify our true inner feeling based on display rules. A healthcare provider trying to genuinely feel more empathy for patients is deep acting. Effective event theory. Effective event theory is a model that suggests that workplace events cause emotion reaction on the part of employee, which then influence worker attitude and behavior. In summary, AET offers two important messages. First, emotion provide valuable insight into how workplace has less and uplifting even influence employee performance and satisfaction. Second, employees and managers shouldn't ignore emotion or the event that cause them, even when they appear minor because they accumulated.
Emotional intelligence. A cascading model of emotional intelligence is a person's ability to first consciousness perceive emotion in the self and other. Second, cognitive. Understand the meaning of this emotion. Third, emotion stability. Regulate one emotion. Several studies suggest EA play an important role in job performance. One study that used functional magnetic resonance imaging or fMRI technology found executive MBA students who performed based on strategic decision-making tasks were more likely to incorporate emotion center of the brain in their choice process. Students also emphasize the use of the more cognitive part of their brains. Another study looked at the success and failure of 11 U.S. presidents from Franklin Roosevelt to Bill Clinton and evaluated them on 6 qualities: communication, organization, political skill, vision, cognitive style, and emotional intelligence. One simulation study also sought out students who were good at identifying and distinguishing among their own feelings were able to make more profitable investment decisions. The next is the case of EA. The argument in favor of EA includes its intuitive appeal, the fact that it predicts criteria that matter, and the idea that it is biological based. The first is intuitive appeal. Intuition suggests people who can detect emotion in others, control their own emotion, and handle social interaction will have a powerful leg up in the business world. Second, EA predict criteria that matter. A review of study indicates that overall EA weekly was consistently correlated with job performance, even after researchers took cognitive ability, conscientiousness, and neuroticism into account. Third, EA is biologically based. This study suggests EA is neurologically based in a way that's unrelated to standard measure of intelligence. There is also evidence EA is genetically influenced, further supporting the idea that it measures a real underlying biological factor. The next is the case against EA. For all its supporters, ES has just as many critics who say it is fake and impossible to measure, and they question its validity. The first, EA researchers do not agree on definition. To many researchers, it's not clear what EA is, because researchers use different definitions of the concept. Some researchers have focused on emotional intelligence via tests with right and wrong answer, scoring the ability to recognize and control emotion. Others focus on emotion intelligence as a broad variety of constructs that can be measured by self-report and are connected primarily by the fact that they are not redundant with cognitive intelligence. Second, EA can be measured. Many critics have raised questions about measuring EA because EA is a form of intelligence. The ego, the must be right and wrong answer for its own test. Some tests do have right and wrong answer. Also, the validity of some questions is doubtful. The measure of EA are diverse, and researchers have not subjected them to as much rigorous study as they have measure of personality and general intelligence. Third, EA is nothing but personality with a different label. Some critics argue that because EA is so closely related to intelligence and personality, once you control for this factor, it has nothing unique to offer. EA appear to become correlated with measure of personality, especially emotional stability. Emotion regulation. Emotion regulation is part of the EA literature but has also been studied as an independent concept. The central idea behind emotion regulation is to identify and modify the emotion you feel. Strategies to change your emotion include thinking about more pleasant things, suppressing negative thoughts, distracting yourself, reappraising the situation, or engaging in relaxation technique. Emotion suppressing appears to be especially difficult to do effectively and can lead to more negative emotion. Reappraising situation is usually more effective in increasing positive emotion and limiting negative emotion. From another perspective, research suggests that avoiding negative emotional experience is less likely to lead to positive moods than seeking out positive emotional experience.
Identify strategies for emotion regulation and their likely effect. In this section, we assess an understanding of emotion and moods can improve our ability to explain and predict the selection process in organization, decision-making, creativity, motivation, leadership, interpersonal conflict, negotiation, customer service, job attitude, and deviant workplace behavior. Selection. One implication to that is that employees should consider it a factor in hiring employees, especially in jobs that demand a high degree of social interaction. Decision-making. Decision-making in organizations have implicit rationality. People in good moods or expressing positive emotion are more likely than others to use heuristic or rule of thumb to help make good decisions quickly. Positive emotion also enhance problem-solving skill. So, positive people find better solutions to problems. Although one often cited studies such as depressive people reach more accurate judgment, more recent evidence hints they make poor decisions. Why? Because depressive people are slower at processing information and tend to weigh all possible options rather than the most likely ones. They search for the perfect solution when there rarely is one. Creativity. People in good moods tend to be more creative than people in bad mood. They produce more ideas and more options, and others think their ideas are original. Some research, however, do not believe a positive mood makes people more creative. Motivation. Several studies have highlighted the importance of mood and emotion on motivation. By conducting research on two groups facing different situations, and as a result, there is a circle where a positive mood causes people to be more creative, leading to positive feedback from those who observe their work. This positive feedback reforecasts a positive mood, which can make people perform better, and so on. Leadership. Effective leaders rely on emotional appeals to help convey their message. Corporate executive know emotional content is critical if employees are to buy into their vision of the company's future and accept change. When high hopes of their new vision, especially with vague or distant goals, it is often difficult for employees to accept a change they bring. By arousing emotion and linking them to appealing vision, leaders increase the likelihood that manager and employees alike will accept change. Leaders who focus on inspirational goals also generate greater optimism and enthusiasm in employees, leading to more positive social interaction with workers and customers. Negotiation. Negotiation is an emotional process. However, we often say negotiator has a poker face. Several studies have shown that a negotiator who feigns anger has an advantage over the opponent. Why? Because when a negotiator shows anger, the opponent concludes the negotiator has considered all she can and so give in. Customer service. Our core emotional state influence customer service, which influence level of repeat business of customer satisfaction. Providing high-quality customer service makes demand on employees because it often puts them in a state of emotional dissonance. Job attitude. Ever hear the advice, never take your work home with you, meaning you should forget about work once you go home? That's easier said than done. Several studies have shown people who had a good day at work tend to be in better mood at home that evening, and vice versa. People who have a stressful day at work also have trouble relaxing after they get off work. Deviant workplace behavior. Anyone who has spent much time in an organization realizes people often behave in ways that violate established norms and threaten the organization, its members, of both. For instance, envy is an emotion that occurs when you resent someone for having something you don't have but strongly desire, such as better work achievement, large office, and higher salary. An envious employee could backstab other employees, negatively distort others' success, and positively distort his own accomplishment. Evidence suggests people who feel negative emotion, particularly anger or hostility, are more likely than others to engage in the deviant behavior at work. Research relating negative effectivity to increase injuries at work suggests employees might improve health and safety by ensuring workers engage the potentially dangerous activity when they in bad mood. A person who always cares will be more pessimistic about the effectiveness of safety particulation because she feels she just get hurt anyways, or she might panic or freeze up when confronted with a threatening.
That's all from our group.
Thank you for your attention.